Hey everyone, Paulie here from HardDrive Radio, and I'm sitting down in the studio today with the U's. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to see us today. It's good to have you here.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here
with you.
It's good to be here with you now.
It's good to have new music from you guys. Very excited about the new album that's coming out April 24th. It's called Heartwork. Can you tell us when you started working on these songs?
Yeah, we were just down around Joey's house down last Thanksgiving. 2018 is actually when we started, because I remember I think I landed that day on Thanksgiving Day, being from Australia and having grown up in Australia. I don't really...
You can tell from the accent.
I'm not sure. I've never celebrated Thanksgiving before. I don't even really know what it is since I was born in Australia and grew up in Australia. And since I lived in Australia my whole life, this is my first experience with Thanksgiving, so
if you need a translator for him, I can translate too.
What was the question?
Jeff, please, yes.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, so it was 2018 Thanksgiving was our first writing session at Joey's, and so yeah, quite a lot of time writing it, but in the studio for not that long. I think it was less than 6 weeks total in the studio.
2 weeks, right, and then 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
4 weeks. Oh, 3 weeks, right?
Okay.
We started before the summer tour.
That's it.
Was this...
Oh, and I gotta set the record straight on something. I'm not from Australia. I didn't grow up there.
We know it's
And
okay.
I know what Thanksgiving is. God bless America.
When you guys were writing, was there any kind of,
There was some
music
bad
you listened
vibes.
to? There was some vibes? All right, tell me, what was causing these bad vibes?
I'm kidding.
No?
There actually wasn't. It was some of the funnest time we've ever had. But I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Do you guys, can you listen to music while you're writing music? Are you reading? Can you look at any other artwork when you're creating, or is that too much of a temptation to kind of copy what you're being influenced by?
Yes!
I listen to stuff all the time.
Yeah, I think we're kind of seasoned in the process. I think we're all kind of always writing and always keeping our brain in creative mode. So we all do that quite a bit all the time. I know I'm always writing and reading and listening to anything and everything. I check out the new music that's coming out just like everyone else does, and have my old favorites as well. But
what are you listening to lately that's really got your blood pumping?
This brand new record by one of my favorite bands called The Used. The record's called Heartwork. It's actually not a lie. I've been listening to it almost like daily, twice a day, and I love it. It's the most excited I've been about the band since In Love and Death and before. What about you? What is your favorite kind of things?
That's a good question.
That's a terrible question.
When
Nobody cares about that.
When I worked for Channel V, I got really, really accustomed to doing these kind of interviews, and I got really good at it. So let me ask you a thing.
Okay.
What's your type of stuff?
What's my type of stuff? I like that heavy rock and roll,
Hey, there he is.
They give me them loud guitars. Give me that energy on stage.
Cheers to that.
That's all I need, man.
That's why we're in these little clubs right now.
That's
we're
it,
to
yeah.
take it back to the beginning. I think that not only is it fun for us to be able to play songs from the deep cuts from our catalog, but also getting sweaty and seeing some of the same rooms that we saw in 2001 and 2. It is. I didn't think it would be this fun. It's been rough, but it's been one of the funnest tours I think that I can remember in a long time. The summer was fun, but it was breezy. This one's kind of like rough. You got to rough it out. We've been through 3 buses already.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Just
like
bad luck.
Ah.
Just
Door fell off one bus.
takes a shit in the back line.
True story.
Just kidding. Come
Smelled
on.
the bag.
I mean, I've been reading about the tour, and I'm going to get to see you guys play in New York. I'm very excited. But sold out shows all across the country. It seems like everyone's really, really excited.
The teeny
for these shows.
rooms, not the biggest accomplishment ever.
I mean, but the excitement is there. Like, what is the kind of energy that you're getting from your fans every night while you're on stage?
Oh, the rooms it's an explosive energy, and yeah, I haven't felt this kind of excitement since, like I said, since the early years. It feels like there's a real resurgence of music with feeling right now, and people want to kind of, sink their teeth into something real, and we've always been that, indeed.
Sorry. I was just telling Jeff before we got here, the other day, every day, looking out into the crowd and seeing the pit, where the moshing is going, but you see dudes hugging each other and just smiling and laughing and singing and jumping up and down like little kids, and then just nonstop crowd surfing in these tiny little places and just sweat. It's just the air is thick and it's just wet, and it's just been every show is just huge smiles. Bert's been telling some of the funniest fucking jokes I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, do you want to hear a good one?
I would love to hear one. Yes.
What's Whitney Houston's favorite type of coordination?
I have no idea what.
Hand-eye
coordination.
I get it.
Nobody got it yesterday.
Last night at the show, that one was
yeah. I think everyone's just kind of delirious from the experience. Probably the brains aren't even working; they're just on autopilot.
Yeah, they were on alcohol, is what they were.
Yeah, that works too.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that it's
That's a good
awesome
time.
playing some of these deep cuts too, because songs that we've never played live or haven't played for 20 years or something like that, and kids are
Just a
singing
little.
along. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just a little.
I'd never played it. I'd never even heard it.
Yeah, it was.
And
a
I've been in the band for
B-side.
15 years. My bad. I'm sorry, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah, it came out
Great song.
before the self-titled, before the first record on this little tiny EP. Originally, we had Ray Capo singing on the song, but his part
It was way too good, and you just had he was just no.
his part was cut mysteriously. I don't know what happened, but we still love you, Ray. Shelter.
You guys are also breaking out some new stuff on this run as well, including "Blow Me." With Jason from Fever. I mean, that guy is absolutely incredible. I was so glad to see you guys did a song with him. How do you kind of replicate his energy on stage, or can you even?
You can't really, but the energy's in the song, and it feels like this cool place in a little bit of nostalgia for everyone to. Like I said, it's like you can really sink your teeth into it. We've said it a bunch, but it feels like the type of song we've been playing for 10 years. It's like the second we started playing, it's like, whoa, this is already part of the set. It feels so much like The Used. It's crazy.
People are going wild to that song too. It's really hitting good.
And Jeff has never been screaming like he has lately. It's
He's
so
been on the
brutal. You would think
We're
we're
scream right now, Jeff.
you
Scream
would,
that line for us.
you would think we're some kind of metal band, but it's amazing.
No, the reaction's been sick. I mean, I would say by the time we played Blow Me, it was about towards the end of the set. I mean, it's just hits 10 again, and just everyone's singing and screaming every word.
I give him a test too. I sing the first chorus, the second chorus, I let them do the first line. I'm by the third chorus, I'm like, let's see what you got, and the whole place is singing every word. It's really cool.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see that. Oh my God. From what I've been able to hear of this record so far, it seems like a really fast record. It seems like a real punk rock kind of record. Is this kind
Might
of?
be surprised.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is this the vibe we're gonna get through the whole thing, or I mean, you guys are not, a strictly kind of punk rock band. You have a very eclectic sound. You go all over the place. What other kind of songs can we expect to hear on this upcoming album?
I think that's what a lot of people are kind of mean by the feelings from the first and second and third record. It's a horse of many udders.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
It's all over the place, and in the most kind of really cool, sincere extremes that we could pull out. I think it has the heaviest songs. The Used is not. I don't think that. I know that there's the heaviest Used song of all time,
Which I haven't heard yet.
and there's really the poppiest Used song of all time. So poppy, these guys almost didn't let it be on the record. So yeah, there's some real extremes. There's some really beautiful and sincerely heart-wrenching songs, which I think is what The Used is kind of known for. But there's this kind of strange kind of feeling in the air in 2020. I think people are just absolutely fed up with the nothingness of everyone feels this same kind of what happened, where's the feeling gone, and we want to celebrate music with feeling. We're really excited. It's all over the place.
This is an album that you guys once again worked with John Feldmann. How much of a hand does he have in the feeling that you guys have crafted with this one, and how did it feel to be back working with him again?
It was so lovely. I think there was always this really special relationship, but just with where everybody's at in their lives, and with a insane amount of positivity that exists in this group right now, that we just had the most fun we've ever had making a record. John Feldmann is an absolute pleasure. He's one of the hardest working producers, and his stuff is just, it sounds so incredible. Like I love putting my headphones in and listening to John Feldmann's production. It was a treat. We're so fortunate. We're so lucky to still be in a good place. I'm really hard to work with sometimes, and in the past I'm like you can still walk down a burnt bridge.
Jeff, you're laughing over there. You have a
No, cool.
Something
in my eye.
Feldman's always been a brother to me, and yeah, man. I mean, he truly gets it. So we're so lucky.
He's this time around. I feel like with Feldmann, he likes energy. You know what I mean? And like, there's so much, like, especially with your vocals, Bert. Like, you go and you do your ad lib track at the end when the song is like done. Go do this, and just watching John literally cry at the end of it, and just like the emotion, like it's just, that was like not every day, but it would happen a lot just because we were flowing. So
yeah, and in the coolest way, it's like those moments out of nowhere happen because everyone's heart is wide open, laughing, and it's weird, like in the middle of the record for a second, like I was in this I'm far from happy moment, like this really, really weird kind of downward spiral. And just being there, once again, this music saved my life. And I think it just goes to show that life is all about ups and downs, and that's what this record feels like, for sure.
Isn't it incredible that you can use art as a way to turn some of the most painful moments of your life into the most beautiful artwork, the most beautiful music, and then you can share that with other people? I think it's a type of magic,
100%. And there's something special that happens. It's when you develop a relationship with another human being that's connected to that. We meet a lot of kids who have become, not kids, we meet a lot of humans that become best friends at a used show, and those type of moments are so crazy and special. But just with the guys too, like the making of this record, I got extremely close with these guys. And
therapeutic.
Yeah,
it was. Sometimes it felt like a therapy session. You're just talking about things.
Yeah.
Even like with all of Feldmann's crew too, it was like one giant.
Made a lot of good friends with all of his engineers and.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. We really, and we talked about it before we went in, but we wanted to say yes to everything. We wanted to let everything else go, our ego, our pride, everything that I've always said no to, everything that I've always tried to protect myself against. I'm like, let's do everything. Let's compromise nothing. Let's settle for nothing. We're here after 20 years, and we deserve it. We belong here.
I mean, it's an incredible legacy. I remember, the 15-year tour that you guys did, playing the first two albums back-to-back nights. Absolutely incredible. Those shows were sold out too, and just having like another 5 years of incredible music from you guys. Are you looking at maybe like doing something special for the 20th, or are you gonna have your hands tied up too much with this?
23 and a half.
Yeah, because technically this is the 20th year right now, 2000, but we did 15. Maybe we'll do like 21 or 22 or 23.
It's pretty special and symbolic. This record is full of symbolic imagery and kind of secrets for the used fans. And 20 years later, releasing our 8th record called Heartwork, it's a huge year. So yes, this is definitely a celebration.
Is that kind of a wink and a nod to Artwork from 09?
I think it's a perfect kind of middle ground. I think it's maybe this is halfway through the used story. This is definitely a different type of record, though. We're excited.
one of the things that I love about music is the visual art that inspires too. And of course, cover art is something that's really important to an album. Can you guys tell me a little bit about the cover art for this album and maybe who the artist was?
Yeah, it's our good friend Cam Rackham. He did a cool design for our live and acoustic show. He designed the entire stage setup, like the dead flowers on stage and stuff. It was really cool. But yeah, he's an incredible artist. You should go and check out his work. He does insane paintings and has such a cool style. And we kind of, when we work with different artists, whatever kind of medium, we kind of like the artists to dive headfirst into their own world and let that become part of the family of what we're doing.
So when you're working with a visual art, are you kind of giving him any notes, or has he just been working with you guys for so long that you trust him?
We knew from the beginning that we wanted to kind of keep the theme of the heart noose, and we were really kind of proud and passionate about that symbology and that look for the used. We really, it's an automatic. You see the heart on the noose and you think the used no matter what. So we knew that was going to be a part of the situation no matter what it was. But yeah, we kind of let him roll with it. I don't know who came up with the tarot card idea.
Can't remember.
I feel like you kind of had. There was talk about it.
Jeff
yeah,
is
trademarked.
Jeff is our
Sorry,
go-to
y'all.
kind of artistic creative director. He handles all the merch designs. Jeff's the go-to guy when it comes to anything that's like the aesthetics.
I always borrow money from him.
Hold on.
I try to borrow money from him too.
Hold on. All right. Okay. Better.
And he doesn't even have internet. I
don't have internet.
No, he lives in.
He's got that.
He lives in the
Boost
middle of a rainforest jungle.
I've been trying to get internet for years. They just.
Well, they keep putting satellites up there. I'm sure we'll get it eventually.
Yeah, if you want to pay satellite internet's so expensive. A milli.
Yeah.
And we're in bands, so.
When you do you do a lot of like visual artwork as well? What's your
No.
medium? No.
No, unfortunately. I just kind of brainstorm a lot, come up with ideas. I can draw, but terrible.
Right here.
Well, that's
I
pretty
did do
awesome.
that. I did a tattoo right here on myself too. It's terrible.
Take your pants off. Let's see
Hands
it.
off.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay. If you want 3 to 4 year old drawing tattoos on you, hit me up.
Jeff will tattoo him.
Because I can tattoo that age group, no problem. No problem.
If you want to get your son or daughter tattooed, and
I will
they're 3,
tattoo them,
3
no
to 4
problem.
years
You
old.
just tell me. If you don't care what it
Please
looks like,
sign
hit
here.
me up.
The single that we're playing on HardDrive right now is a song called Paradise Lost, named after the famous epic poem. Can you tell us a little bit about creating that song?
It was one of the first songs that we did in this session, and I think that we never really had any specific ideas of what type of songs we wanted to work on other than stuff that felt like kind of the nostalgia of 90s grunge music to us. It's where we all came from. It's, I think, what we still love the most. For me as an adult, what's the most fun that I have in this band is kind of adding my literary influence to the band. And I in 2018 and 19, I've got kind of obsessed with John Milton and his life, and I've always loved the poem A Paradise Lost. But yeah, it's a bigger story than we have time for today. But the song is so much fun, and in that same kind of vein that the Use is always, we love a catchy song, and we love a song that rocks, and I think that we love a song that you can kind of get a weird kind of heart pull from it, even though you may not know why or what it's about.
Did that song kind of just start with that opening riff, or how did it kind of come about? Yeah.
It did start with that riff, actually.
It actually started with the poem in 1667. Yeah.
Well,
The
yes.
song came together real quick.
Yeah.
It was, and I
It
mean,
only
it's a
took
simple song,
400
but
years.
damn, it's so catchy and
It's one of the first couple we wrote too,
yeah,
at the beginning.
yeah.
How many songs did you guys end up writing in these sessions together? Because I think I read it was like over 20 or something like that.
27, 28.
At
yeah.
John's, there was over 20.
Yeah, before we even got to John's, we had about 20 songs demoed. But yeah, we scrapped all those.
Never heard of him.
As you do.
Never heard of them. And yeah, we did we recorded almost 30 that we were happy with. So there'll be a really cool B-sides coming out, or else we'll just do some more sessions and put out. I mean, there's no format anymore, is there? Just put out music whenever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with digital these days, you guys can just put out a song whenever you feel like it. So
we're always just thinking like, what's Justin Bieber gonna do, and then we'll just do whatever that
We'll
is.
just do that.
I would.
On that note, I'm an old school guy. I still love an album. Maybe that's not everybody's preferred method for listening to music these days. But
We're
how do you
right
guys
there
feel?
with you, man.
Are you albums all the way?
I mean, not all the way. I like to listen to music no matter what it is, but yeah, it is the journey. Like when I'm doing something in life, when I'm going to bed, or when I'm taking a walk, or when I'm taking a drive somewhere, I like to go on a little journey with a record. Maybe it's just because we grew up doing that. Maybe it's just because we know how that feels to kind of get lost in the 8 to 12 songs or whatever it is. So
Yeah, I like to listen to the whole album, not skip a song. Like I that Knocked Loose album, I listen to it from front to back. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
cool record. That's not music for everybody, but fucking it's for me.
I know, like, kind of throws me off sometimes if I'm listening to like a streaming thing and I hear a song and then I know what song comes next in the album and it's something else. I'm like, no, that's wrong. What?
Yep.
Or a different band gets thrown in there.
Yeah.
You might like.
yeah, we've always
Wrong.
been particular about the sequencing, and I feel like when there's a story to be told, then it's worth. I don't know. Yeah, it's worth it for us. We love to sit with something and get lost in something, but not to say that I'm just gonna put on a single or whatever.
Joey is kind of the new guy in the band. I mean, you've been with him for 2 years now, but tell me about meeting up with these guys and starting playing with them.
It's wild. I mean, I grew up a fan of the band, and here I am.
Take my mic.
Well said. It was that easy, right?
Yeah, no, I grew up listening to the band a few years behind these guys and went to shows, and I've got to play a couple of the venues of spots that I was down in the front as a kid, so that's definitely wild. But getting to write a record with the boys was incredible, and Feldmann as well. I mean, I've always looked up to him and the work he's done with the dudes and everyone else. But yeah, it's kind of crazy just getting thrown into it and trying to put my vibe on the songs and make sure their vision is coming to fruition. It's been really cool.
He's the young guy, keeps everyone hip.
He's still
I'm the
He's
hip
got
guy.
he's got the young positive energy. Like Joey's such a positive guy. When we first started touring with him, everybody's like, "Oh my God, you got Joey out, Joey!" So we immediately started calling him Famey J for Famous Joey. But yeah, he when I don't have it in me to say the positive thing, he's like, "But dude,
Hey, man.
yeah, it's nice,
smoking peace pipe.
It's good to have on the road.
100%."
I imagine, it's everyone thinks that touring is just like the greatest thing ever, but it's a hard way to make a living.
No, it's the greatest thing ever.
Is it?
A little bit of both.
Well, I mean,
Try waking up at the crack of 2.
the
p.m.
the smallest, little, tiniest things, like the moment we had after the show the other day, we meet a really, really special fan who's had a really, really especially rough time. There's nothing that can put that moment into words. We're so lucky, especially after 20 years, man. We've seen so many bands go. We've seen so many bands that never should have been around. But yeah, we're so humbled, so grateful to still be here doing it. That to complain about anything. Our new bus, the bunks are quite small.
I took my mattress straight out.
But I just kind of was like, man, how lucky am I? I mean, I just missed my daughter's 6th birthday, but there's just something so crazy special about what we get to do. I mean, how many people out there want to be in a band that goes on tour?
Everybody.
And for the wrong reason, most
yeah.
of them. So,
I mean, well, in 20 years of touring and band history, we like to always ask the bands for what we call the Spinal Tapian moments, the moments where just everything goes completely wrong, whether you get, locked out outside backstage or, you stop for gas and somebody gets left behind. I'm sure you guys got stories. Can you tell me, like, maybe some of your
all of
worst
those,
memories?
all of those
Everything you just said
Yeah, you just
happened.
said.
And then some, I'm sure.
Well, we were locked in the bus the other day because the generator stopped,
did happen.
and the doors are electric. So I'm like, basically chopped my finger off, almost just trying to rip the door open, and like, And that was one little thing, but
Left Dan at a gas station
Left me
once.
there, yeah,
I
I
had to
was-
drive back while he was.
yeah,
I don't know if I'm allowed to flip you
I'm
off.
like, are you
but-
fucking kidding me? You guys left me at the fucking. I was paying for
have
my
video.
coffee,
So
mad.
and I see the bus, and I'm like, they're just pulling around, and then they're just pulling around. Then they take left, and they're getting on a freeway. I'm like, thank God I got my phone. Not God, but thank Jeff.
The
I
one
have
I'm
my
think-
phone.
What's up?
Everyone's like, you didn't leave your laminate on the fucking on the seat. I'm like, I've never even heard of that. Leave a
thing?
laminate on. I don't even carry a laminate.
It is a thing.
All right.
It is a thing.
I didn't know that.
It has not been a thing for us ever.
Also,
A thing is just like don't leave the band.
Yeah, that's a thing, kinda.
That's should be a
shit in the
thing.
back lounge.
Yeah, took a shit in the back lounge. Took a shit.
Ooh.
He's
Good
doing
better.
this,
Him right under the
doing
bus.
this weird diet. He's shit in the back, okay? And I'm a clean freak. I clean the bus every morning, and I do it very angrily.
Not to name names.
But-
Don't name names.
Oh my god.
There's a fucking bag, so I keep my clothes in the back lounge. I go to the back lounge, and there's this bag. I'm
Still talking about
in
it.
here? And it looks like brown water. And I'm like shaking it, and I pick it up and smell it. I'm like, that's shit. So he's shit in the back lounge, and I'm furious. And he's like, I forgot to throw it out. I'm sorry. I'm like, what? Who forgets to throw it? You don't shit on the bus. You can't even shit on the bus in the toilet. You got to stop and go to the Flying J or
Still
whatever.
talking about it.
It was bad. That
Still
was a good
talking
one.
about it.
Yeah. Because I was furious.
One time our bus driver pulled a gun on me.
Oh yeah, that did
Yeah.
happen. Yeah,
Why?
He was a big old fat person.
You caught our bus driver, one of our bus drivers doing heroin one time.
Oh yeah, I
toes.
caught a bus driver shooting up.
Ditched him.
He was 9 hours late for bus call. See that?
He was 9
Kinda
hours
remember, guys.
fired from
Yeah,
bus
then he got
call.
fired, obviously.
There's always something. It's,
We got
it's fun, though.
strip
It keeps it
searched.
interesting.
Strip search in Canada was fun.
Oh boy.
One time I ordered French fries and they gave me tater tots. I was like, fuck that.
True story.
The worst. That's
I
it.
love me
I
some
quit.
tots. Grab them tots.
There's so many stories.
We got dill pickles on the bus.
We do?
No, I don't think.
Punches soup sometimes.
Oh yeah, the punch the dill pickle. That's
We
about
have
it.
a really weird relationship. We've
That's
known
the
him for
last
how many
thing
years?
that
10
happened
years?
was the soup.
Came in. I don't know what
happened to
happened,
the
man, but he
U's?
touched my hamburger. Not a hamburger. It's vegan. I'm vegan. He touched my burger, right? And I'm like, dude, don't touch my shit. And he stuck his finger in my burger, like all the way. And he had this pickle soup, and I smashed it. And it went all over everywhere. Joey was like brand new to the band. He's like, everybody left the bus thinking,
Cool, we're cool. Everyone's fine.
yeah. So then after I smashed the soup, just came over and like punched my burger like 50 times, and like there was just shit all over the bus, and everyone was mad. And then and I look at each other, and we're just like, you better clean this up, and it was all good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's rock and roll. Oh
I
my
ride on
God.
a
You can
different
bleep
bus.
that name out, right? You can
Private jet to the shows.
We have good times every day, though. We really do. After the show, it's like that's when we begin, you know, and like there's so much energy. Bert came off stage the other day, and we're all like dead. It was so hot, and he comes off like skipping and dancing, and he's like, I'm like, damn, what the hell? Like just too much energy. It's great.
There I go.
I mean, that's got to be one of the greatest things about, you know, being in a band and knowing each other for so long. It's kind of like this family, and you know, Joey, I mean, it might be difficult trying to like slot into this dynamic that's existed for so long. You know,
No, these are my people.
Yeah?
It was real easy to come in. Yeah. Vibes are real. And the vibes are strong.
True story.
I have this theory about people and vibrations, and you know, everything in the universe has like a resonant frequency. Vibes are real. No, we're gonna get metaphysical here. All right. Get it out.
Vibes. Ross Robinson. Vibes.
You good?
In the name.
What's your vibe? What's your theory?
What's
So
your vibe?
yeah, you know,
What's your vibes, dude?
I completely lost track of the story I was telling. I was just kind of wrapped up in everything that was happening here.
I have this theory
Yeah, everything in the universe.
that there's a secret
Peanut butter.
undercover plot with
It's true.
politics.
Yes.
United States. It's in a scam with Russian Chinese. Just kidding.
This has gone completely off the rails, but that's all right. That's rock and roll. The album is Heartwork. It's out April 24th. The
Oh,
band
yes.
is The
Oops.
Used. Guys, thank you so much. This has been the most hilarious interview I've ever done in my life.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you.
Don't shit in the bunk.